before all this happened to me, I believed in energy, but I don't know that I necessarily believed in ghosts. I don't know, like keeping the form of a body. I don't know. Like, I don't know that I believed in that per se. Now, here's the thing though. What I've learned about just dying and the soul. So my question is, because ghosts are where the soul is very confused and doesn't understand what happened, or maybe has a lot of unfinished business left, and so they remain attached to the body. Okay? Now, my question is, if we choose a certain body, right? Because remember, we chose that body. So if we choose that certain body, but we never achieve enlightenment, or let's even just say self-awareness, right? If we never choose self-awareness, do we get stuck on earth attached? Like, let's assume that, like, we're scared, we're afraid, we're attached to our bodies. What happens? Do we move on? You know what I'm saying? So, like, because a ghost is someone that is attached to their body. They're very, very attached, so attached to the body that they don't want to leave it when it dies. So if we never achieve enlightenment and we're in that situation, like, is that soul lost forever? Does that soul ever get a chance to connect, to reconnect back up? You know, or like, is that just part of the risk that all spirits take when they come down? I don't know. That's an interesting one. So something else, when I close my eyes and I see everything swirling, right? I see stars. It looks exactly like the universe. So, like, my question is that the universe? Like, as in space? Or is space really just a construct of our imagination of what the real universe looks like, which is really just energy vibrating, right? But, like, literally, like, when we see outer space, the universe, is that just what we think the universe would look like? Or is that actually the universe? All right, let me throw something else at you. So if I say that I have green eyes, right? Or let's say this stone, right? So this stone is blue. Or, whatever, the stone is blue, green, whatever it is, right? Let's just say it's blue. How do I know that the blue that I see, just because we call it blue, because we know that this particular shape of molecules, or the way that these molecules go together, the way that they vibrate together, creates a blue. How do we know that the blue that I see is the same blue that you see? Maybe your blue is, or maybe my blue is your white. Or maybe my blue is a cat to you. How do you really know? Right? Another question I had. Is it possible to live every single moment in an awakened state? And I say this because it's so easily to slip back into habits and back into the human state of being, right? It's so easy. So, like, even just in the past 2 months, from the time I achieved my self-awareness, through my heavily meditating time, to a time when I stopped meditating because I got crazy and freaked out with the whole like universe thing happening to me. And then now I'm starting to come back into it, and it's like, it's so hard. I feel like I'm having to kind of redo everything. I mean, it's coming back much quicker, but still, it's like, it definitely, the connection definitely shuts off. You have to be extremely, and this is where the word mindful comes in, because it just means aware. You have to be so aware of everything that you do, of everything that you're thinking and doing out of habit. Oh, it's so hard to break those habits, and I just wonder if you can ever really break them. And I had the most wonderful meditation session this morning. So I was in my seat. I like to wrap myself up in a nice blanket. Today I had my feet elevated, and I always have these particular stones in my hand, just like this, actually, just like this, in this configuration. And I have them in my hands, and I was like this, with them in my lap. And of course my eyes were closed. And sometimes it does happen where my hands move slowly, softly. Like sometimes it'll just be like they'll just kind of like do that or whatever. Well, today it was this. It started closing, which has happened before. Okay. So it just starts closing. And then right when it closed, I immediately went, it was just, it was not jolting, but it was like, if I had, the only thing I could liken it to would be as if someone said, okay, in 3, 2, 1, you're going to be in the cloud. It's going to be 3, 2, and 1. You're there in the cloud. But like no one was saying that. It just happened that way. And it was so peaceful, and I didn't get dizzy like I have been getting. It was amazing. It was so amazing. It was perfect, peaceful, like just floating in space, floating in water, floating in a womb, floating around. It's so fantastic. And I was really grateful to the universe for that, because recently, well, ever since that time that I had that really crazy jolting experience, I've been leery. I feel like my my concept of trust, well, again, and that's, trust is just made up. We make up the concept, the idea of trust. There really is no such thing. I mean, trust is based on not being a fear of not being in control. And again, control is just something that we make up because we can't control something that's constantly changing. Nothing is in our control, so So I have been just hesitant every time I start to float away. I freak myself out, and then I come back down, and it's been hard to let myself get to that point. So this was definitely the universe's way of helping me get there without going around. It was basically the universe's way to help me go around that fear, which was awesome. So thank you.